The first 2K26 gameplay patch of the year is officially here. I told you all that it was on the way, and of course, we're going to go over everything in the patch notes, but remember, especially if you guys are new, what's in the patch notes is actually usually not the most important thing in the patch. It's the domino effect, what was changed that wasn't supposed to be. So we're going to be going over a lot of people's opinions who I think are pretty important and have valuable information about the gameplay patch and what has actually changed since it came out. So it got so crazy that even 2K Toots made a video saying buff contest and pinned it on his comments. I've never seen 2K Toots say buff contest. Well, 2K did. All right, let's look at my last thumbnail though, where it said, oh, September 22nd, 2025, 2K26 will never be the same. That's odd. Wait, did the patch drop today on September 22nd? It did. The biggest patch of the year so far. Are they going to make posts about that? Probably not. But anyway, you guys know, man, the real know. But okay, let's get into this patch and then we're going to talk about what was actually changed, how much things were actually changed that they said, okay? So Mike Wang dropped it and he said, we will be releasing an update that makes the following improvements to contest coverages based on gameplay data and community feedback. Slightly reduce the impact of height mismatches on contest coverage. Shorter defenders can now generate slightly stronger contests against taller shooters. Slightly increase the effectiveness of strong contest. Well-positioned and well-timed contest will further narrow the shooter's green window more than before. No changes have been made to shooting difficulty, shooting mechanics, or any other gameplay systems. We will continue to monitor games across various modes and skill levels. This update will be applied automatically around September 22nd at 2 a.m. on all the consoles. Simply return to the main menu to make sure you have the latest version. Wow. So they have slightly changed a few of the different contests. We need to see a real test from 2K Labs, from 2K Toots to see exactly what was changed. I will probably have that in the next news video. I'm sure they'll have it out by then and we'll talk about it. But let's actually, because I haven't played the game yet since the patch came out. So you guys let me know how you feel, what has changed in the games that you've played so far. But I've gathered some tweets from people who I think that are good at the game and have valuable information on their opinion, because they've already talked about their opinion on what they have seen since the new patch came out. And let's get into it. So A. Cardi said, I can confirm after 4 games against 7-4 since this patch, nothing has changed. Still getting shot over like I'm a puny ant. So the first impression is that 7-4s really didn't get changed that much. Now, this one is from Greenlight, who was in the 2K League, and I haven't really been up to date with the comp community so far in 2K26, but I'm pretty sure he's still one of the best players in the game. And this is what he said. Morons cried for a patch, and all you did was make 7-4s more valuable. Little guards are contest magnets now, and height is king. Good job, fellas. So far, it seems like exactly what I said was going to happen has happened. Now, with this slight buff, of course, that leaves room for a possible another patch in the future to give another slight buff. Now, I'm not saying that's what should happen, okay? For those of you that are going crazy as soon as someone talks about anything with gameplay. I'm just saying that I believe there is room for another one where Mike Wang could do it in the future, right? That's why he did a small buff to start it out, okay? But I told you guys my not my complaints, but my worries about what the patch could do. And this is what Joey2K said, who, you know, he uses 7'4", 7'3". He plays on Joe Knows Pro-Am team, and he said, I'm gonna have to see more, but it looks like one of my concerns with the contest update has already happened. Ghost contest on smaller players are looking rough. Also, it might be a small sample size, but I'm seeing guards trying to shoot standstills in a pocket. But since the defender is near, it's making them do the fadeaway animation instead of their standstill jumper. More time will tell, though. So apparently, exactly what I said was going to happen has happened so far. Now, like I said, guys, I have not played the game yet. I told you all that I'm playing the game in front of me unless there is a massive exploit. I'm just playing the game. Okay, people's opinions, the game's going to change regardless. It's September. You guys know this, right? 2K is going to go off the majority of the community's feedback. So their team said, hey, there's a lot of people that want contests to be changed, so they changed it. That's what happens every year. They're going off who they think is going to like the patch and play the game longer, which means if they're playing the game longer, they're going to spend more money, right? They have a higher chance. But anyway, this is from Jin, who I think was in the 2K League. He said, what would 2K be without a little ghost contest in the game? So let's watch this real quick because he posted a clip and this is going to be really interesting, okay? So this is him coming down the court on a fast break with two-way, and I paused it right here because this is where the ball leaves his hand, okay? That's right when it leaves his hand. 10% late contested. 10% late contest on that shot. You guys let me know if you think ghost contests are back in the game. From right there, of course, maybe that could have happened before patch as well, but that does not look good to me, okay? And that's what I was worried about if they buffed contest, because it doesn't just buff stopping 7'4"s. I told you guys most likely it would make 7'4"s better because they're already the least uncontestable shots builds in the game, the height, right? So it's gonna probably make contests worse for builds that are 6'6", 6'8", 6'4", stuff like that. So it's not about the fact that he didn't make that shot. That was probably a makeable shot. He had two-way. It was only a 10% contest, but should that have been a 10% contest is the question, right? So he has a smaller green window on a shot where he probably should not have been 10% contested. All right, so Splash, and when we do gameplay, this is the first big gameplay change of the year. It's the only gameplay change so far. I've got to start giving resumes for people. So for those of you that already know, I know it can get a little bit annoying, but for the people that are new and don't really know the 2K community, I do want to explain who these people are before we go over their opinions. So this is from Splash Edition, who is a former 2K League player. He also won, I think, two $250,000 My Team tournaments. He's already won the first $10,000 My Team tournament this year. This is what he had to say about that clip that we just watched. That right there is why everybody said, just let the game stay how it is. It's a domino effect. You can't nerf 7'4"s without completely making it harder to play another build, especially a smaller one. So we'll just have to see, guys. That clip right there that I watched, in my opinion, doesn't look good. That is not how the contest system should be. When he released that shot, he was literally wide open. All right, so this is what Tuff said, and he said 7'4" is still good, but this doesn't mean they need another buff. Please don't do a double buff. Everybody crying, gotta play defense at some point. So apparently 7'4"s are still fine. Maybe they get a little bit more contested. From the little clips that I've seen, yeah, they get 6% or 13% now instead of, 3% or a 6% that's now a 13, but that's still a very greenable shot on a 7'4" build. So how are the other builds with the domino effect going to play out? I'm going to be playing today, of course. I'll probably let you guys know in the next news video, but I don't know, man. I don't know. Anyway, this is what Splash said. I can get ghosted on my 6'4" now. That's cool. And he posted a GIF saying I'm fine. So apparently he's getting ghost contested already. And this is just with the first gameplay change. Like I said, from what I'm seeing, if Mike does a slight buff here, slight buff there, he's just leaving room for another possible patch. Whether you believe it should be like that or not, whether you think there should be another buff or not, that's what I think is going on, is he's leaving room. He didn't want to overpatch like I've been talking about video after video, because 2K loves to over nerf or over buff stuff. So I'm glad that at least from what we're seeing, from what they said, we haven't seen the test yet from 2K Toots, 2K Labs, that they did a slight buff so that we can assess, hey, is this where we want it to be? You know what I'm saying? Is this where we want contest to be? How does this affect the other builds? Blah, blah, blah. Now, Splash also said the game obviously needed tweaks, but 94% of your players didn't care and were having fun. This is just the start of the domino effect. I hope it doesn't get too out of hand. Oh, man. So we haven't seen a lot of good things about this patch so far. But I did see from Kevin Cruz, and I wanted to show you guys I guess this is a positive, outlook of the patch. And this is what he said right here. All right, so he made a video breaking down the contest system update, some unintended consequences, and the best way to activate good contest. And someone replied and said, based on the video, I think the exchange of a little bit of ghost contest is 100% worth it now. Being able to properly contest taller players, I expect 2K to fine tune this later, but overall, a win for balancing the game for sure. And he said, this is currently where my head is at right now. Definitely a tough thing to balance in my opinion. So you see, some people are saying, hey, yeah, there is ghost contest in the game now. But that trade-off for being able to contest taller players better is worth it. That's what he is saying in that. I'm not saying that. I'm just reading to you what other people are saying, okay? So I want you guys to please let me know if you have played 2K26, how you feel about it so far. And also come back to this video, please, after you've played, if you haven't yet, and let me know how you think about the contest system. But let's finish talking about the patch for now. And I'm going to show you guys right here. A Cardi is now using a high layup build in his wagers, playing for money and doing lots of floaters. I talked about this in yesterday's video where I was telling you guys if a 99 layup was worth it or not, if high layup was worth it. I think it's a really important video because layups are 100% back. But that doesn't mean they are, amazing, and that doesn't mean you need to go to a 99 layup necessarily. So you guys see right here, I was shocked that there's a player on 2K who I, in a way, not necessarily everything he says, but I know that he's got valuable information. He's a good player, and he's making a build to use floaters in wagers. That means that they have to be pretty good again. Okay, you see what I'm saying? So right here, another floater. I mean, just float, float, float. He said he doesn't even have dunk on this build. So apparently floaters are very, very good, which I told you guys in yesterday's video. But if you guys want to see my full opinion on layup in 2K26, click right here, tap right here. I also talk about where I think the sweet spots are for your build because floaters are very good, but layups in general aren't necessarily, okay? So it's a deep, detailed video of a lot of different opinions, man. Click, tap here, it'll take you to that, and I'm out of here.